Welcome to our Yin Yoga practice. So we are going to start in a comfortable seated position. As we begin practice, there we go. So in order to make these classes as freely accessible as possible to our participants, we will be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of the class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. Make sure you move nearby furniture and other potential hazards. If you are participating in a yoga class, we recommend using a mat, and if you don't have one, a carpeted area. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice or care as needed. Women Married Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical exam and follow the advice of your healthcare provider before participating. So hopefully you've started to settle in. Remembering at any point during practice, any props that you would like to use to support the body are welcome. So maybe a blanket or some soft blocks and books. And if you're sitting on your mat, just start to ground down into the sits bones. Just draw your awareness into both sits bones and just rock forwards and backwards and then side to side, finding the edges of your sits bones. And then find that center place where you're evenly placed on both. Start to draw some awareness into the space where your core is, that space where the navel lies. Allow yourself to just draw the navel back slightly and then up to engage that transverse abdominis. And then as you're settling in, just do that movement throughout the body, maybe moving from head to toe, and then back toe to head. And just noticing what's going on in that physical space today. So maybe noticing spaces where you're holding tension, whether that be in the forehead or the shoulders, maybe the glutes, the legs. See if you can just soften a little bit, relax the tension. And then begin to draw awareness to your mind space. Just noticing the thoughts as they come and go. Not getting attached to them. Maybe qualifying and quantifying them, like, oh, planning, excitement, regret. And then just allow them to just pass along, noticing but not dwelling, acknowledging and not dwelling. And then begin to draw awareness to your breath. Not doing anything to change the breath at first, but just noticing it. Allow yourself a moment to note inhale and then exhale. Note the pauses at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale. And then We'll allow ourselves to all get on the same page. So we'll take a nice deep inhale. Open mouth, exhale, let it all out. And then begin to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause for 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round, inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now find a rhythm of breath that speaks to you, that keeps you in that space of even. So an even inhale, even pause, even exhale, even pause. One of those spaces we were just in may have spoken to you immediately, but maybe there's another of your choosing. Maybe it's a little deeper, maybe it's a little less. But allow yourself to take a few rounds of breath here in this place as we start to turn on our parasympathetic nervous system. So throughout our practice today, I'm going to encourage you to just stay in that rhythm of breath that you created just now. Let that breath be the guide to the movement as we explore the yin and the yang of the postures. As we move through, we'll hold some postures a little bit longer. I'll be sure to give you that fair warning as we do that. And then we'll move slowly and mindfully in between those postures, finding a little yang. So now as you're ready, draw hands to heart center. Allow yourself a moment to just set intention for your practice today. Allow it to be a positive affirmation, something that you visualize or see for yourself. As you're ready, take a nice deep inhale, sealing that intention into your heart space. Long exhale, either through the nose or mouth, allowing that intention to just surround you, fill your space. And then when you're ready, releasing the hands down to the knees. If you're sitting in easy pose, we're going to switch the legs out. And then from here, you're going to tuck the chin and round the back, doing some modified seated cat-cows. Allow yourself to roll to the back of the sits bones, and then draw yourself forward, finding that cow back. Stay in the beautiful rhythm of your breath as you shift and move. After your next round, you're going to just come back to neutral. Noticing any length you've built in the spine, we're going to take the hands and come to our peace fingers and bring them alongside. We call this Bhu Mudra. This is a very grounding mudra. Allow yourself just a couple breaths here in Bhu Mudra. And then from here, you're going to take the right hand, open it up wide, place the hand on the floor. Stay in your Bhu Mudra on the left as you lift up and over. Just giving that left side a nice stretch. Then draw that left hand back up and over. As the left hand touches, come to Bhu Mudra with the right hand. Bring left hand flat and come on up. Keep the movement with your breath and just do 2 more rounds here. Deepening if it feels right, or letting it be just a little less if that feels right also. After your 2 rounds, you're going to meet back in that Bhu Mudra. Let the chin come to neutral as you come there. And then when you're ready, if it feels right to just tuck the chin into the chest, lengthening that whole posterior chain of the body. And then as the chin makes its way back to neutral, you're going to lift both arms up and overhead. Turn the palms towards the front and let the palms come down to the floor in front of you. As you settle here, just bring the chin to neutral. Bring your awareness to the sits bones. If you rolled forward, bring yourself back. Get a little bit more length. Hopefully feeling a little bit more stretch in the low back. If it feels right for a breath cycle to tuck the chin here, go ahead and do that. Then bring the chin back to neutral. And on an inhale, as you engage the core, lift the hands back up and overhead. Let the palms face each other as you switch your legs back out again. And then draw the palms down in front one more time. Same thing here. Make those adjustments with the sits bones. Once you're settled in, if it feels right to tuck the chin, go ahead and go there. And then as you're ready, on an inhale, you're going to lift the hands back up and overhead. Take the gaze up towards the ceiling. And then draw the palms together, bring them through to heart center, and just pause, reconnecting back to your breath. Then from here, we're going to make our way to tabletop. So however it works for you, bringing both hands down onto the mat. Spread the fingers nice and wide. And then draw the shoulders over the wrists and adjust the knees so they're underneath the hips. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Feel that nice stretch on the feet. And then come up onto the toes. Getting all 10 toes onto the mat. If you need to, give a little help there. You can reach back. And then from here, alternating between the feet flat on the floor and on the toes, you're going to move into a cow with the toes up. And then as you round the back, you're going to bring the tops of the feet into the floor as you come into your cat. You're going to mindfully move through 3 rounds here. Taking your time, staying with that cycle of breath. Keep that micro bend in the elbows. As you move through this dynamically, just deepening where you need to deepen. And then making your way back to just a neutral tabletop. I'm going to give you however you would like your feet here, tops on the floor or on your toes. And then you're going to flip your palms so your centers of your fingers are pointing towards the center of the mat. You're going to spread the fingers nice and wide, and you're going to rock side to side. Then from this space, you're going to make a fist with both hands as you come to stillness, and then turn the palms back over. From here, we're going to tuck our toes one more time. And we're going to sit back into our feet. Again, bringing the pinky toes down if you need to make adjustments. We're going to pause here for about a minute, so you have lots of options here. If this is intense for you, you can come down onto your forearms and just press into the feet. You can also put the hands on the knees, the center of the quads, or closer to the hip creases. Stay in your breath. As we open up the fascia in our feet, the start of our posterior chain. You're halfway through, so you're doing awesome. We've got 10 more seconds left. We can do anything for 10 seconds. Wherever you're at, you're going to make your way back to that tabletop. You're going to bring the tops of the feet to the floor and let them stretch for just a moment. And then if it feels right to just yogi tap them, you're welcome to do that. You can also lift the feet off the floor and just roll the ankles out just a little bit. Then from here, you're going to tuck your toes one more time. You're going to get those hands planted. You're going to engage that core. You're going to lift your hips. And you're going to find a version of downward dog where we are on those toes. Heels are way off the floor. Lift the hips just a little bit higher. Draw awareness into the hands. Maybe rock side to side. And then a little bit forwards and back. Staying up high on the toes. And then walk your dog, drawing one heel down at a time. Nice and mindfully slow. Taking your time to explore right and left side. Explore that posterior chain as you begin to open it. And then let yourself find that space of support on the anterior side of the body. Then if you're ready to sink both heels down to the mat, go ahead and go there. Shake your head, yes and no. Releasing any stress. And then just pause in stillness. Nice, even breath. One more round of breath. And then as you're ready, you're going to draw the knees slowly down to the mat. You're going to bring the big toes together. And we're going to settle in to a child's pose, Yin style. So we're going to be here for about 4 minutes today. So I want you to explore this posture as you settle in. First, allow yourself to find the third eye on the mat. If that feels like it's too much today, go ahead and let your hands be your prop here. Place one hand on top of the other. If that doesn't feel like it's enough, you can always stack your fists. Remember, you're going to about 50% here because we're going to hold the pose long. So then make that conscious decision if your hands are free, where you would like them. Maybe you'd like them out in more of a Y, having a little more space, or maybe it would feel right to have the hands along the side of the body, palms facing up. Wherever you're at, just find one sensation in the body. Just let yourself be with that sensation. Remember, if the mind starts to get busy, allow yourself to notice, to acknowledge, but not dwell. Just remembering as we move into the stillness of these yin postures, that it doesn't mean not moving. As we pass the threshold of the parasympathetic nervous system opening up, allowing yourself the opportunity as the spine lengthens to maybe make an adjustment with the third eye on the mat. As the body opens up, making adjustments with the legs, the feet, the shoulders. As the body begins to open up, if you're using any sort of a prop and it feels as though you're pushing a little too hard into the prop, go ahead and start to release the prop. As we're making our way to about our last minute here, just see if you can find one space that you can direct your breath to and allow it to just relax just a little bit more. And as we begin to slowly and mindfully make our way out of this posture, wherever your hands are at, first you're going to draw them underneath your shoulder heads. On an inhale, you're going to start to press into the hands as you make your way up, setting up sort of a modified tabletop here. Allow yourself to extend one leg and then the other. Listen to which leg wants to go first. And then move through what your body needs. Maybe it's as simple as cat and cow. Maybe your posterior chain is really looking for a down dog. Let yourself go there. Maybe you'd like to draw some circles with the hips wherever you're at. Maybe rocking side to side. Whether you be in tabletop or down dog, either one is appropriate. And then wherever you're at, we're all going to make our way down to the mat, onto our abdomen. We're going to place one hand on top of the other, note which one is on bottom, and then you're going to place your third eye on top of your hands. As we're here, we're just going to start to rock side to side. Imagine you're moving from those hip points, just massaging the abdomen. We call this space in Chinese medicine and the meridian lines the triple burner. The space of Agni, or heat. Allow this little gentle massage to cool the fire. And then pausing in stillness, you're going to come up on those toes again. You're going to lift the legs up, push through those heels, lengthen the legs, and then draw them down nice and gently onto the tops of the feet again. And then from this space, you're going to notice, what is your lower back telling you? You may be just fine and comfortable here. If you'd like to adjust the legs wider or closer, go ahead and go there. And then if you would like to come into our next yin posture, we're going to come into a sphinx here. So we're going to come up onto our forearms. As we make our way to our forearms, let the fingers spread nice and wide. And allow yourself to find an opening in the front side of the body and the back side of the body. For many of us, if we reach across, we will touch our elbows. But know that the arms are making this beautiful L. You're going to take the gaze out in front, so you're lengthening your neck, both sides equally. You're probably looking across at the molding, or where the floor and the molding meets. Settle into the breath. Maybe noticing as the diaphragm expands, the abdomen again being massaged by the mat. As you settle in here, again, finding that space where the parasympathetic nervous system starts to open up. Make adjustments as needed. If you need to lengthen the legs, come up onto the toes again. You need to adjust as the body opens up. Go ahead and go there. If it feels right to stay in that even breath, but maybe deepening it a little bit. So if you were a 4 count, maybe moving it to a 5 count to just massage the abdomen. As we're going to begin to make our way out of this posture, we're going to move mindfully and slowly. So you're gonna start to draw the hands to center. Now, whatever hand was on top will be the bottom, and then just let the elbows walk out so that you can bring that third eye back on the hand. We're just going to pause here momentarily. You can make adjustments again with the legs. And then from here, you're going to bring third eye to the mat. Arms are going to come out to a T here. And then as you're ready, once you've settled in with arms at a T, you're going to make your way to your right cheek. Once you get here, it may feel more comfortable, depending upon what's going on in your posterior chain, to bring the hands to more cactus arm. Remembering if this is intense, just try and breathe through. Know the difference between pain and discomfort. And just a few more breaths here. Then on an inhale, you're going to bring that third eye back to the mat. You're going to pause. You're going to inhale, drawing the left cheek to the mat. Again, just noting differences, right versus left, trying to stay in curiosity and not judgment. Couple more rounds here. Then on an inhale, you're coming back to third eye at the center. You're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulder head. You're going to tuck the toes. You're going to press into the hands. And you're going to move dynamically back to a tabletop. From here, maybe taking cat and cow. Maybe moving from cat and cow to down dog. Rolling through what I like to call cat dog. Maybe down dog isn't speaking to you, but you'd like to get elongated spine. So draw yourself back into child's pose and then just back into tabletop. Just a little bit more mindful movement here. Before we all meet back in tabletop. And then we're going to make our way to our sits bones. So you have the option, swing the legs right or left, or cross at the ankles and roll to your sits bones. Once you make your way to your sits bones, you're going to extend the legs long on the mat. Then from here, we're going to take the left leg and bend it like we're making a figure four. You may want to prop something under the knee here. And then draw your awareness to that right foot. Get those toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Lengthen the spine. And then turn the torso so it faces that right leg. You can even frame that leg with your hands. Then from here, you're gonna hinge at your hip crease and just start to move forward. I like to walk my hands forward. You're just gonna settle in here. We're gonna be here in this posture about 3 minutes. Think about lengthening the spine. Think about that hinge from the hip crease. So you're keeping those sits bones on the mat. And then as we're more than halfway through practice, you may notice that your parasympathetic nervous system is kicking on a little quicker. So when it does, don't resist the urge to come forward. Let the hands be just place markers here, not holding you into space, but allowing you to move as the body needs to move. As we're already here for about a minute, if it feels right at any point to start to tuck the chin and to round the back, you're welcome to go there. Only if it feels like the body is calling for that and it feels yummy. If you start to go there and it doesn't feel right, just come back to straight spine. We begin to make our way out here. If you have tucked the chin, first you're gonna release the chin and just lengthen the spine. Then we'll all start to make our way back to the crown of the head, reaching up towards the ceiling. We're going to pause here for a moment, and then we're going to take this left leg with our left hand, and we're going to draw the knee up towards the ceiling, and we're just going to hug that knee in. Then extend that left leg long. Maybe rock it side to side before you bend that right leg. Find that figure 4 here on this side. Find those sits bones nice and rounded. And then as you are ready, turn the torso to face that left leg. Hands are framing that left leg. Hinge at that hip crease. Come on forward. Same thing on this side. Relax the hands. Just let them be placeholders. They're not doing any work. They're not pushing or pulling. Sometimes I like to get a little extra in on the hands by just spreading the fingers nice and wide. It'll distract you from trying to pull. And then as we're just about to that 1 minute mark here, if it feels right on this side to tuck the chin and round the back, go ahead and go there. And just note, out of curiosity, it's going to maybe feel totally different on this side. And that's okay. Listen to what this side is telling you, what it needs. Check in with your breath. Where is it at? As we move into that final minute on this side, if you've tucked the chin, start to untuck the chin and lengthen the spine again. Couple breaths here, and then just begin that unhinge to reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Once you get there, pause for a moment, and then take the right hand, and bring that right knee up. Hug the right knee in. And then from here, we're gonna extend that right leg out and just draw the big toes together, and then let the pinky toes come out towards the edges of the mat, and just rock back and forth. A little internal and external rotation of the hip, the femur head and the hip. And then pause back in stillness. The feet will be about hip distance apart. The knees are with a micro bend in it, and the toes are facing up towards the ceiling. We're going to bring the hands to heart center as we lengthen the spine. Coming to neutral, pausing in Dandasana. You'll have a little slight core engagement. Remember, if the hamstrings are tight, you can always prop a blanket or a towel underneath the knees. Let's see if you can find this ultimate stillness here. I promise you, this is our last yin posture of the practice today, so go all in. Turn that awareness inwards. We've got another minute and a half here. And then as you're ready, releasing the hands. Let the hands come underneath the hamstrings and draw the feet to the floor and just let yourself hug in. Lift the feet up off the floor if it feels right. Rock onto the heels. Rock side to side. And then pause here, and if it feels right, round the back, curling into a little egg or ball. And then inhaling, come on back out. We're gonna recline down onto the mat now, and as we recline down, taking your time to get there, just make sure anything you might want for your Shavasana is here. We're going to do a deep relaxation Shavasana, so if you want to cover yourself. Then as you come down onto the floor, bring the knees facing up and roll the knees over towards the right side, finding a nice gentle twist here. We're gonna, for this twist, just keep the head pointing or the eyes gazing up at the ceiling. On an inhale, you're going to bring the knees back up. You're going to pause, make any adjustments as you draw the knees over towards the left side. Again, the opportunity to know left versus right. And in that space of curiosity, not judgment. On an inhale, bringing the knees back up. An opportunity to hug the knees into the chest and just rock side to side. Let yourself draw some circles with the knees so you can massage the pelvis. Massage the low back. And then when you're ready to extend the legs out long, we're going to move into a deep relaxation practice. So allow yourself to truly find that comfort here. Rock side to side. Place right hand where it'd like to go and left hand. If you're comfortable with closing the eyes, you can go there. And then draw your awareness into your feet. Allow yourself to draw tension into the feet, maybe hug the toes in. And then exhale and just let the toes go, let the feet go. Bring your awareness to your calves. Draw some tension into the muscles of the calves. And then on an exhale, just let them relax, settle into the floor or your mat. Then draw your awareness into the upper part of your legs. Draw some tension into the quads. Notice the support of the hamstrings. Relax the quads. Let the hamstrings just settle onto the mat. And then just notice the legs, the lower half of the body. Notice the sense of deep relaxation as we begin to move into the glutes. Our glutes hold lots of tension as they help us to do everything from standing to sitting to walking and running. So just send them the message, thank you very much. It's your time to relax. See if on an exhale, you can just spread the glutes just a little wider onto the mat. Notice as they relax, maybe the hips begin to open. Just let it happen naturally. Let it transcend down the body. Then noticing your abs. Notice that transverse abdominis, that space where the navel is. Just give it some mild engagement and then let it go. Relaxing onto the mat. Then noticing your rib cage. Allow yourself a couple of nice deep inhales to expand the rib cage as you fill the lungs. On the exhale, let that rib cage just relax and settle down onto the mat. Then note your shoulder blades. As the rib cage settled, make adjustments with the shoulder blades. letting them just rest comfortably. Notice the upper chest. As you relax the shoulder blades, if you were holding any tension along the pecs, along the collarbone, just exhale it out. And then drawing awareness to the hands. We're going to make some fists with the hands and then tighten the fist to notice the tension in the forearms. And then tighten again to notice the tension in the biceps and the triceps. And then starting at the upper arm, start to relax the biceps, the triceps, the forearms, and then the hands. Opening up. Maybe the palms are even facing up towards the ceiling. Notice the sensation and the sense of deep relaxation. And then drawing awareness to the shoulders and the neck. A space we usually don't need to bring any tension to. So just on an exhale, let the tension go. If it takes a couple rounds of breath, go ahead and go there. And then draw awareness into the head. Let the breath just massage the scalp and the face as if it were making a circular action, hitting all the edges. Allow it to roll across the forehead, around the eye sockets, down through the jaw, even open and close the mouth to relax the jaw. And then let the breath run down the jaw and just as if it were a waterfall off the chin. Several rounds of breath here, relaxing the face, noticing the tension that you do hold in your face. Then draw the awareness inside your mouth. Notice the tongue. Notice any tension on the tongue. Wiggle the tongue around if it helps to even stick the tongue out. Draw the tongue back into the mouth and just let it sit neutral. Not pushing to the top or the bottom. Not pushing on the teeth. Just neutral. And then as you settle in here to your Shavasana, allowing yourself this opportunity to take advantage of this deep relaxation as you move through your Yin Yang practice. I've allowed us about 5 minutes of Shavasana. I will close practice here in this space. So if you have the luxury and opportunity to take more time, I encourage you to do so. I thank you all so much for the opportunity to practice with you. It is truly my honor and my privilege. May you all be happy. May you be safe. May you walk this earth always in loving kindness, good health, at peace, and always at ease. From my heart to all of your hearts. Namo Namaha. Namaste.